Hey, good morning, everybody. How are you doing today? I just wanted to touch on a subject, or go back to a subject that I talked about a few days ago. A couple different things. I wanted to talk about propane fuels for cooking and lighting and power, and also some blade implements, hatchets, saws, etc., etc. Um, But as far as propane goes, man, that's a bountiful resource that probably people need to really be thinking about stocking. And at home, I usually store 5 to 6 of the 5 gallon bottles at all times, just to have. And so with that, I can of course fire my grill. I have a little uh, I would say standalone, stand up camp stove, 2 burner camp stove. With like a griddle, and I have um, a turkey fryer, like a 1 burner type deal that you could cook anything with it. It's just a burner. You could fry things or, deep fry things, use a frying pan or whatever, a skillet, and cook. But with regards to that, um, there's also the little camp style bottles, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Little camp style bottle here. Those are really handy and they don't take up a lot of space. But I found this little valve here. When this thing gets empty, you can get this valve, and I got this one I think at Walmart. And it actually attaches to this propane bottle, which I haven't cracked open yet. And you basically can transfer propane from the bottle to the back into this can, and you can keep replenishing your empties. You don't have to throw them away. So I think that's a pretty cool deal, honestly, to have. And again, I think this valve was like $8 or $9 at Walmart, and man, it's just really, really handy to have. They make other ones too. They make hoses that you can put on these bottles, and have them go certain lengths or whatever, and that's cool too. But I just like the option of going to a smaller style bottle, should I need it, and that allows you to do that if necessary. So I thought that was a pretty handy find there, and I'm sure a lot of you people already knew about that, but I didn't necessarily. So is what it is. Again, just trying to put information out there for everybody. And I just think that having more options that aren't expensive and can create a better environment for you and your family is key. And like I said, if you had a little 1 burner little stove, camp stove, and you were out of propane in the little bottles, you just top one off with the big bottle and throw it in a backpack or a box and go. That's no big deal. If you're wanting to just heat your home, and you're out of power and you don't want to drag a big bottle inside or whatever, just fill one of the little ones up and plug it in inside. Just takes up a lot less space, a lot more maneuverable, and yeah, to me it just makes sense to have the option at least to make those transfers if required. Another thing I want to talk about is blades, knives, saws, hatchets, etc., etc. Now I've got a bow saw that's pretty large. I guess it's a 2 foot long, 2.5 foot long by a foot tall, and it's really handy and it does the trick on small type limbs. But it's really not handy to put in a backpack or a go bag. It's just too large. But I've got several of them stationed here and there at places that I might need them. But as far as being mobile with cutting devices or blades go, I went a different path, and I'll show you what I've got here. So I run this little hatchet, and I just picked this up from Home Depot. I think it was $15, but it also can double as a hammer. I can strike a nail with this back of the axe head or the hatchet head. Also, this cutting machete. So it's a pretty decent machete with a scabbard, and it's got a little saw blade on the top, on the spine, and so that's pretty handy to have. And Machetes are pretty handy. You can chop with them. You just want to buy a decent one. You don't want to buy the cheapest on the shelf because they're just probably going to snap and actually become dangerous to you. But this one, I can't remember where I got it exactly, but I kind of like the way it looks, and it's got a saw application on top. So, you know, just more options with one tool. And then this is a folding saw that I picked up from Home Depot as well, I think. And it was probably $15–20. But it folds up, as you can see. You just press this button, and it folds right up. So, no big deal. And it stows real easy. As you can see, these three items stow really easy in a backpack or whatever the case may be. So, anyway, of course, pocket knives and this and that all go without saying. You know, a lot of people stow those anyway, wherever. So those are just some of the items I wanted to talk about today. You know, the hatchet idea I think is pretty cool because it allows you to chop, and it also allows you to, like I said, hammer a nail. It also, you know, these tools that I just showed you can come in handy for processing game, a large game like a deer or a pig. Yeah, if you were to shoot one out in the wild, you know, those are pretty stout animals, and if you needed to process one in the field or in a field environment, these saws and this hatchet would help you do that pretty quickly, at least to quarter one up and get it back to where you needed it to go. So anyway, think about things like that. The saws and hatchet, I mean, that's just a good idea to keep around, I think, all the time. You never know when something's going to come in handy. And again, it's small, so you can throw it on your back and go, so it's no big deal there. But I would encourage you to, you know, up your game on that kind of stuff. Again, stuff that's small and mobile and you can carry with you. And then, of course, the propane items we talked about here a minute ago. Those are all, you know, easy things to go get right now. And you never know what's going to happen. But if something happens and doesn't go as planned here, like a lot of us think it is, you'll have some options, you know, to help yourself out. So anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. Again, like, share, and subscribe. You know, click on the bell so you get get notified of my latest videos. And please comment. I always appreciate your comments, and always look forward to reading them and conversing with people. So let's help each other out, learn from each other, keep prepping, stack it deep. Long live the Republic.